Hello and welcome back to our Pokemon Showdown team building videos. Today we are building a team around a Pokemon that, you know what, I've wanted to do this for a long time. We're building a team around Hitmonlee, and okay, so I went with a bit of a generic name here. I went with Bruce because, you know, Bruce Lee. I mean, that's as basic as it comes. I couldn't think of a name. I don't know what to call this. Frickin' anything would be better than Bruce. I am sure this is the most generic name, but you know what? It's fine. And I'm going to go with a set that I know works. It's a common set. There might be like one thing swapped about from the most common set, but very common set. We're going to go with Unburden. Pretty common. Normal, fake out boosting. Not the item is fake out. Hold on. Normal gem. Fake out boosting. You can't hold a fake out amazingly. Pro tip. And as for its moves, you can get guaranteed coverage to hit neutral or higher onto anything, which is pretty much all you can really ask for in a Pokemon game. You're never going to be super effective on every Pokemon. Neutral or higher on everything is great. So we're going to have Earthquake, and we're going to have Stone Edge. This gives a lot of coverage. We obviously still want Fighting Snap, and this is where a little bit of variation comes in, because some people like to run High Jump Kick. It's a little bit more powerful than Close Combat, but it's a little bit less accurate. People do run Close Combat, but that lowers defense and special defense. So really, out of these two, they're pretty much the best you can get. Superpower is just worse than Close Combat in my opinion, because you're lowering your attack stat, whereas Close Combat you're lowering both your defenses. Not the worst. But it's really a debate. Do you want High Jump Kick to miss and lose half your health, or do you want to take more damage from Close Combat? And I'm going to run Close Combat, which I know is the lesser preferred option out of the two, but we're going to run it anyway. And now we're going to get into something a little bit more difficult, and that's going to be the EV spread. I don't run a normal EV spread. What I do is I'll go look up like, we'll use Axelgore as an example because that's got base 145 speed. We're going to see what its speed goes to. This won't be on the team, this is just for comparison's sake. We'll give it positive speed nature, 427. So if we were to get an Unburden boost, normally we are not going to really need to go higher than 427. So 214, pretty much the magic number. Which means we honestly need a very small amount of speedy EVs to get to like the highest speed in the game. I'm going to go with like a 225 base speed because, I mean, of course I would, because I'm a horrible person who likes that number too much. And I'm going to put the rest into my physical defense. The reason I put it into my physical defense is because a lot of the time, you will get a Pokemon come in to stop this thing, and it'll go for a priority move. Priority moves, normally physical. So being able to take that physical hit, it does make a huge difference. Just look at the bar on the left. It makes a huge difference on Hitmonlee because its physical defense is normally pretty poor. So I like to just have a little bit of physical defense on my Hitmonlees. That's just me personally. If you want to run max speed and get this thing as fast as possible, just set up and sweep. Feel free. You can also run High Jump Kick rather than Close Combat, because obviously Close Combat will be lowering your defense and all that once you've used it, which, again, kind of defeats the purpose of it, but that's just what I like to do. Now, building defenses around Hitmonlee, we have Fairy, Flying, Psychic. 3 weaknesses, pretty standard, all can be resisted by Steel, so I'm actually just going to type in Steel and see what comes up, because that's pretty much what we need. Steelix, not what I'm looking for in the slightest. It's really not. Steelix is just not that great defensively. I mean, it has really good physical defense, but mixed attackers can screw it over, and its type is a little bit weak compared to some Steel types. I'm looking basically at Bronzong, Probopass, and Registeel. Those 3 are the main ones I'm looking at as defensive. And I have to say Bronzong is winning, because Steel Psychic resists Psychic a lot more. Probopass would resist Flying a lot more. But Flying doesn't worry me too much, because we have Stone Edge. Whereas Psychic we can't really hit very well. So I'm going to go with Bronzong. We're going to take ourselves a defensive Bronzong. This thing's probably going to be physically defensive. And for an item, I guess Leftovers would make the most sense. There's no denying that. Leftovers would definitely make the most sense. We could run Rocky Helmet. The debate. The debate is here. Do I run Rocky Helmet or Leftovers? We're going to run Leftovers. We're going to keep Levitate because honestly an immunity is better than a resistance. Because we could make it so we have Heat Proof and take half damage from fire type attacks. But that would just mean we're taking neutral hits from fire, whereas we can get a complete immunity, which is just better overall. So we'll keep Levitate. As for moves, what moves do we want on this thing? I want Toxic. I kind of want Stealth Rocks. I do kind of want Stealth Rocks on this thing. I don't really need any attacking move now that I think about it. Attacking moves, they really aren't going to be too useful. This thing's going to be more just pure utility. What else could we run? Toxic, we could run Protect with the Toxic to get Leftovers back and do damage. So Protect is definitely an option. We could also give this thing Screens. Now Screens is something that I don't usually use. That's something I will definitely say. I don't use Screens enough. We could run Confuse Ray. Now that just seems... Yeah, we're going to run Confuse Ray and Protect. So this thing's complete Toxic Stall. Kind of disgusting. I'm sure this is not that great of a set in all honesty. I'm sure it could be done better. As we're not reusing our physical attack, we can also lower it. Which we may as well do. Stop us hitting ourselves if we do get confused. Maybe someone else will use Confuse Ray on us. And a name for Bronzong would be... yeah, we'll miss that for now. Oh god. I know I've named it before, but I named it something terrible, I'm sure. Now, any joint weaknesses we have between these two? No. We do have a little bit of a ghost weakness overall. A little bit of a fire weakness overall. Dark is resisted by Hitmonlee, so I'm not going to consider that a weakness, but it's still there. So, Ghost and Fire, basically the main one I want to deal with there is Fire type moves. So, dealing with a Fire type move, obviously Water type. Water and Steel just pair so well as cores. I do this a lot. I have definitely started to notice a trend. I like defensive Water types paired with defensive Steel types. But, you know what? It works. There's a lot of Water types in the game. Steel type not so much, but it is probably the best defensive type in the game. It's just a nice combo, really. So, I don't really know what I'm looking for when I just type in Water. Obviously, special defense is a huge factor. Tentacle, Tentacruel. Why is Tentacle there but not Cruel? Am I going crazy? Is it because it's a secondary type on Tentacruel or something? Oh no, it's because it's a higher tier. That makes sense. Ignore me being an idiot. So we do have Ludicolo, but that doesn't resist fire, so that would be completely pointless in comparison. We have Slowking, but that's Psychic type. We don't want that. That'd be weak to Ghost and Dark. We have Gastrodon, which can set up stockpiles and do really well, actually. That's definitely in the lead at the moment. We have Fiona, which can be really good because it has just nice rounded defenses. We have Jellicent, weak to Dark and Ghost, never mind. Winning Pokemon there is definitely Gastrodon. Only being weak to Grass, we resist Grass on Bronzong, pairs fairly well. We will also have Leftovers on this thing. I know it's double items, but it's not the end of the world. And I think I'd rather have Storm Drain so we can take Water type hits. That seems nice. Right, now how are we going to run this? How do we want to run this Pokemon? Recover is pretty much a must. Stockpile is really tempting, but I don't know if I really want it. We could go with Toxic Scald and just go Stockpile. It's a very common set. It's a set I've run before, but it works. So we'll do that. We'll go with the set that I know works. I'm tempted to run Ice Beam, but oh well. This is going to be a specially defensive set because we have Scald to burn to hit on the physical side, and we'll take 4 points into... I mean, we're really not using our attack stats, so we may as well put it into our defense stat. Make this thing bulkier. Okay. Now, we are lacking severe special attack. We have a slight weakness to Ghost, as I said before, but I'm not worried about that. Instead, I'm just going to think of what I would really like on the team, and that's I would like a Mega. And I'd like some Ice-type moves. So you know what? The Pokemon that popped into my head is actually Mega Glalie. It can be run as a special attacker. I've never personally ran it as a special attacker, because I think Explosion is much more fun. But we could definitely run this thing as a special attacker with, like, Freeze Dry. Which is a really good move, in all honesty. But I just don't really know. Because it gets priority with Ice Shard. We could make this thing mixed. Now, I like that idea. I like the idea of running this thing mixed. So we'll run Ice Shard. Oh, do I really want to have that much priority? Or that much Ice-type moves, not that much priority. You know what? We'll take Earthquake, because Ice and Ground pair quite well together. Because Ice doesn't hit things like Steel, Fire, whereas Ground does. We could also run something like Hidden Power Grass. Because I was thinking we could run Freeze Dry to hit water types that come in thinking that they're fine, and then we absolutely obliterate them. And then for our last move, we have some options here. We do have some options. I did say it myself, I love running Explosion, okay? It's a fun move that can just completely decimate an opponent. I love that word as well, decimate is a fun word. But when it comes to it, is it really worth it? Or is there a better move? The debate is here. Shakehold. Shakehold, Numere? I think so. Weather Ball? We have enough Ice-type moves. I don't think we need to run another Ice-type move. Explosion would just blow something up, which is why it could be really good. We could also run something like Hidden Power Grass to hit Rock, Ground. We have Ice-type moves. I'm in a debate here. I don't really know. I think we're just gonna run. We're just gonna run something like Return. Because it's just solid damage. This is a lot of Ice-type moves. I am fully aware of that. It is a hell of a lot of Ice-type moves. We're going to run this thing as more physical than special, and we're going to lower our special defense more than our physical defense. Because for some reason, I can only really think Bullet Punch. So because I think Bullet Punch, Fake Out, Quick Attack, Extreme Speed, Mark Punch, I think of all the priority moves like that. I like lowering my special defense more than my physical defense. That's just me. Now, this does give me a predicament with fire types. We do now have a little bit of a fire weakness. Not to a point where I'm worried, because Gastrodon deals with fire types pretty well. But it's something to consider. We don't have any weakness to ground, which means we could really pick up an electric type if we wanted to. Which I think we're going to do that, because I want a special electric type attacker. And what do we have? Electivire, you're not special, really. Electrode, you're... Do you get any setup? Like Nasty Plot? No? Okay, you know what? Screw Electrode. Raichu gets Nasty Plot. And it is pretty fast. Anything else? Manectric, not really what I'm looking for. Jolteon is good, but it can't set up. Yeah, that about sells me onto Raichu. Pokemon I don't use enough. I have a name for this at least. We're calling it just Fatshu. Right, we got this. We got this. Do we want to Focus Sash this Pokemon? Now we could Focus Sash the Pokemon. Focus Sashing this thing would be great. It would. It would be absolutely great. Because it would mean that we could take any hit, because its defenses are reasonably poor. Or we could also give this thing something else, like a Life Orb, and just make it annihilate things. We have a lot of options here. We could also give it something like a Salac Berry, just in case it goes that low, but that's a little bit too situational for me. We're just going to run Focus Sash. We're not going to overthink things. We're going to give it Lightning Rod, because that could be great. Had some random battles where that was amazing, so I'm tempted to do that now. We're going to take Nasty Plot, obviously. Setup move, why not? This thing does get like Fake Out Extreme Speed, which, you know, is really good in a way, but we're not going to be running that. We're going to just run Standard Thunderbolt. Now we have a debate, because this thing does get moves like Surf, it does get things like Grass Knot, Hidden Power Ice. I think Hidden Power Ice is the best thing we can run. And other than that, Electric Ice. What doesn't that hit very well? Stunfisk? No, it doesn't. It even hits Stunfisk. You know, that hits a fair few things. That does hit a fair few things. Like Dragon Ice. I mean, it still hits for neutral. This. I think we're gonna run Focus Blast just for pure power. That's what I'm gonna take. Because there are probably some things that can resist that. I think Fighting is the best coverage we can have there. I know it can miss. Don't get me wrong. I am completely aware that it can miss, and it could completely ruin our battle. We're gonna take a chance. We're going to take a chance with that one, and we're going to take Fat Chew. Now, we don't have any Volt Switch action, because I didn't put Volt Switch on that Pokemon, which makes me think I want a U-Turner instead, or... Yeah, U-Turner instead would probably be perfect. So, we're going to just filter by U-Turn and see what pops up. Because we have our Stealth Rock user in Bronzong, so we don't have to worry about Stealth Rocks. A Rapid Spinner isn't essential for this team. We have our core that resists rocks, which is nice. Hitmonlee can still fake out and do its thing. Glalie, they hurt a little bit, but honestly, Raichu would break the sash, but I'm not particularly worried about that. At the end of the day, I'm not particularly worried about rocks. We're just going to filter by U-turn, we should be fine. Now, what do we have? I want a normal type, if possible, because that would be immune to the ghost type, which we do have one weakness to and no resistances. So if we could get a normal type with U-turn, that'd be great. Raticate could be fun, but no. Flame Orb, Guts, Raticate. We could go with something with Guts. Oh my god, that could be fun. Persian, no, not the Pokemon I'm looking for. Fire, as adorable as you are, you're not competitive. Flygon? Flygon. That would be an Ice weakness, which doesn't affect us too badly. Be another Fairy weakness. I don't want another Fairy weakness. I really don't. Okay. I do want a normal type. I'm set on a normal type. Swallow. I like Swallow. I like Swallow a lot. Gets Guts. Oh, I'm sold. I'm using Swallow. That's not even a debate anymore. We're going to call you Ace, because I always name it Ace for some reason. I don't even know why. Don't ask me why. We're going to give you a Flame Orb. And we are going to give you some crazy moves. Well, first of all, we're going to give you U-turn, because that's why we got you. We could run Priority Quick Attack. We're going to give you Facade, because that's an amazing combo right there. We're going to give you Brave Bird, because suicide, basically. That's suicide. Your EV spread is going to be pretty simple as well. Do we want max speed? We'll run max speed. We will. We'll run max speed. And do we want to run anything crazy like Roost to try and heal up on swaps? Do we want to run something crazy like... Looking for something crazy? You know, there really isn't too much. Steel Wing? To hit rock types? We could run Steel Wing, or we could just U-turn out against rock types, which would be better. So I think we'll just run Quick Attack. I think we are just going to run Quick Attack for priority. Guts boosted Quick Attack? You know what? Why not? So that's a strange looking team that we still have to name as Glalie and stuff. What was... I think it was Grace? Not Grace. Wow. Come on, brain. Grace was the Ice-type gym leader in 3rd gen? I don't remember. I can just remember an Ice-type leader. I'm just going to call it Grace either way. We have Sally the Sea Slug, frickin' Gastrodon, who's going to be pink. Ooh, shinies. Glalie, you look amazing shiny. Yes, give me them red eyes. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we're going to make you female. We're going to make you female. The rest don't really matter. Bruce should probably... Oh, it's guaranteed female. Never mind. Okay. And Bronzong, you are a strange one for me to name. I don't know what to call this. I really don't. If anyone has good nicknames for Bronzong, please leave them in the comments, because I really need one at some point. And if you do have any like suggestions for team builders and that, feel free to leave them in the comments. I may do them, I may not. It would depend on the Pokemon, to be honest, and if it's been done, or if it's a type that I've done a lot, or whatever. Bronzong name. We're just gonna call you Zibbity. How do you spell Zibbity? Zibbity? Zibbity. That's great. Okay, we have Zibbity the Bronzong. I kinda love it. I kind of think that's perfect. And that is a valid team. So that is going to wrap up this team building episode. If you guys just leave a like for Zibbity. Just that's so perfect. Okay, I have a name for Bronzong. I take it back. I don't need a name anymore. That's perfect. If you guys have enjoyed this team building episode, leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, bye!